Hi, everybody, and welcome to Moral High Ground. So, I've been pondering, been thinking about females and female imposters, better known as AI robots and robots in general, and those real dolls. And I'm thinking, why do they keep making them? Why do they keep making AI girlfriends? I mean, there's multiple apps on it. There's multiple versions around the world of these female robots. There's these real dolls, all this crap. Why are they making all this stuff? And then I'm thinking about real women. How the hell can they compare to real women? There's a whole difference right there. It's just the fact that besides the personalities of real women, which would probably drive a man to go find an AI robot or any of that nonsense. But still, why do they keep making them? It just doesn't make any sense. You know, there's such a big difference, but there's so much things you can do with robotics that would be way better than just putting them against a regular woman. I mean, that's what's really going on. Is a woman desirable, or something that you can make on your own more desirable? They even have, I forget which one it was, where they make molds of women's bodies. Like you find a woman you think has the most attractive form, and you pay her or whatever to mold her body, and then once she's molded, you can mold onto robotics of the woman that you want to make, the robot you want to make, and whatnot. Now, I liked Weird Science back in the day. It's a good show. They created a robot woman, or actually, I don't know what Lisa was, like a robot, or I want to say robot, but she was a genie type of electricity thing that was created by them. So, but this thing here is like Weird Science on a whole different level. Because yes, you can make your desirable woman, like I said, by molding her body. Then you add in her personality. They got an app where you buy the real dolls and you put in the personality you want and how you want her to look and talk and whatever. But the thing about it is like, psh, that's crazy, man. Crazy nonsense. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at a video here and talk about what they're doing and why they're doing this. Like I said, I just want to know why. We got some women outnumber men, so there's tons of women out there. But it's the thing that women are trying to make themselves toxic in a way they don't even understand, and they try to make it's just the same concept I say as those that try to make women like a concept, like they're not a real thing, like they're not normal human beings. I mean, honestly, you get guys and people part of the liberal community and whatnot, and they'll say, "Oh, a woman is a concept or some crap, or anybody can be a woman." That's so stupid. Let's just go with the natural order of things. So by doing that, though, you're not making a woman a real thing. You're making her a concept or some kind of figure of a kind. I don't know how you say it, like a made-up figure or character. Create somebody created. And so I guess that's where they come along with the same thing with robotics, is they're making female characters that people will be attached to more than a male or whatever. I don't know, but it's just really weird to me. Okay, it's like trying to replace women at all together. And I'm right now what I'm talking about is standing up for women, even though they get on my nerves like every other dude. But dudes and chicks get on my nerves. Okay, they get on everybody's nerves. So we all get on each other's nerves, but we got to find a way to come together. That's what I'm trying to get at. But when it comes against robots, it's a whole different concept. Are you making them for your friend? Are you making them to help you do stuff? I honestly believe robots should be able to help you do stuff. Beyond helping you do stuff, make robots that can teach you whatever subject it is you want to know. Make robots that teach you how to build other robots or any kind of thing with technology or anything like that. That's the purpose I see with robots that look like humans, as well as trying to be able to help you learn new things. I mean, helping and training and learning and teaching and all that is all in the same category. So really, what I was about to say doesn't matter because it's all the same thing. But I'm just saying, like, that makes more sense. I'd rather let's say for example, oh, I want to know the science of everything about the planet, or I want to learn how to be a messenger or something. I want to be like, you know, builds things out of metal and cars and all that, like especially cars. I mean, get a robot person that can teach you how to build cars, right? What's wrong, or how to fix an engine, how to put in pistons, and how to put spark plugs in the right place, and all that. Have a robot teach you all that stuff. That'd make more sense than just making some sex toy that can talk to you and can't walk around. And even if they can walk around, how creepy is that? Because the face doesn't look too much like a human. So anyway, forget what I'm talking about. Let's get into this video, and I'm going to review it, and it's made by Robot Future. Okay, people, so this is the video. It's created by Robot Future, and what they're talking about here is the robots they just made that's supposed to be more female-like than a regular female. Some of these robots are very stunning and convincing, and some of them just looks like they're on a beta testing moment or some crap, and it's just really weird. So let's just get into it.
Are also androids?
I want, but not yet. Yeah.
Damn it, I hate this shit.
The average person sees around 10,000 online ads daily. Here's how a man's life would change if he used Pi. Day 1, he would install Pi on his computer.
Do you have friends who are also androids?
Okay, let's get into it.
Do you have friends who are also androids?
I want, but not yet. Yeah, I'm looking for, my friend. Do you know some friends, Android, to introduce me?
I don't know. I haven't met any at Cannes. Maybe, are there any more in Tokyo?
I should ask.
The most realistic female humanoid robots ever exists.
So this is what they're saying. What you just saw was this robot who's supposed to be very, very close to being lifelike, like a human, like a female. But I doubt that, because it was just like the whole face is off, and I get this vibe from like watching The Dark Crystal or something when I was looking at her. So maybe it's just me, but I just don't see it. And the way it's talking, it's like it's supposed to be a foreign girl, got the accent and everything. But I mean, what's the purpose of that? Why does it have to have a foreign voice unless it's the whole thing of robotics? I don't get it. But suppose, like they said, most human-like, realistic human robot, female robot.
This is shocking. Hello and welcome back. If you're fascinated by the future, by technology that blurs the line between human and machine, then you're in for an incredible episode today. We're diving into the realm of humanoid robotics. Specifically, female humanoid robots that look, sound, and act so much like us, it's hard to believe they're not alive. Get ready. What you're about to see may completely change how you think about robots. 1. Harmony 2.0 by Real Doll.
So Real Doll, like I said, they've been making a female form and the dolls at first. They were making them all look just like women. And like I said, they're the company that molds, just forget about the Harmony 2.0 part crap. Just think about Real Dolls. They're the company that actually molds a woman's body, and then, she's a real doll. But now that they have the robotics, they can actually mold the body and put the robotics into the head. And, you can dress the hair or whatever you want. And then after that, after you mold the body and put the robotics in, you can go online on your phone to the app and give the characteristics of the robot, like make it be able to be cheerful or joyful, hate, bitter attitude, or I don't know, confident, arrogant, selfish, sharing, whatever the personality is that you need the categories of the cocktail that you're making when it comes to their personalities, and be able to have somebody that's realistic in a way to where you're sitting there going, she does come off like a human, but no, far from it. Like I said, this is my whole point, is just trying to explain why make something when we already have the perfection as it is. because it's a kind of fake emptiness. It's like an emptiness if you're making a woman robot with a personality that's actually programmed, not exactly itself. Even though it seems like you're talking to an individual, you're not, because the whole characteristics of the personality of a woman has to do with body language, and a certain type of mood comes about in order to let you know something's going down. And so, but with a robot, it's just sitting there responding to you because you're responding to it. It's like having a Teddy Ruxpin or something, you know.
Our journey begins with Harmony 2.0, a creation from RealDoll, a company known worldwide for its lifelike dolls. However, Harmony is no ordinary doll. While RealDoll has always specialized in realistic materials and human-like appearances.
Now, see, there's a hookup right there in the brain. This is the brain of the robot. Now, for whatever reason, this robot brain, doesn't have a big, moisture, a big sponge-looking thing like the rest of us. So that's a number one, not a human. But the second part of it is just that it's only, what you see here is only for certain type of things. The eyes, the mouth, the voice box, as well as memory, I guess. So, and visual, being able to see the person it's talking to. So it's kind of like got a camera inside of its own little area. But the parts that's missing is the whole limbs, okay? Can't move their arms, they can't move their legs, things like that. And maybe there's a hearing thing involved in there too. Most likely there is. So you can hold conversation with it. But the thing about it is, if that thing gets damaged, there ain't no more this female robot. But people aren't thinking about making it go around doing things like, chopping wood or, fixing a microwave or something. I don't know. But my thing is just that it wouldn't happen with a human female that easy. Where they can crack their brain real quick. You can crack your brain quick with this. It can break real easy.
They've now taken their technology to the next level by giving Harmony an artificial intelligence and the ability to interact with her owner. On the outside, Harmony looks incredibly realistic. Her silicone skin has been crafted to resemble human skin, down to subtle details that add depth and texture.
See, even the part where they had the hook in the back, that's like you could hang it up somewhere, like clothing or something. So, I mean, how many people are stable enough to understand the difference of a woman and a robot here? And when they get this thing, how long before they go nuts and think you can hang a woman up in their closet? So a little bit of psychoticness, especially when you look around at all the limbs and stuff, faces and heads and hands all over the place. You gotta be a little morbid to want a robot like this.
But her lifelike appearance isn't what makes Harmony remarkable. Inside her head, beneath the surface, is an electronic brain complete with wiring, circuits, and software that enable her to function like a conversational partner. Harmony's AI allows her to engage in meaningful conversation, recognize her owner's voice, and even respond with varying tones depending on her mood and the interaction.
So, Harmony, not this girl that's on the street now, but Harmony is pretty much their number one robot that they created. And look at this woman here on the street. You can tell the difference real well. It's like perfect. Okay, you can tell the eyes are human eyes because they're tissue, not, glass or some kind of silicone with the body and all that that's separate from the eye, It is really weird, the robot form. But with the human eye, it's just no different than the other tissue. It's just a little gloss over because it's moist tissue, I don't know. It's just, to me, there's no real competition here. You know what a human and female looks like, So it's crazy.
Harmony connects with a smartphone app, which allows her owner to personalize.
Now the movements of the lips look off too. It's a real thing. It's kind of like watching a kung fu movie sometime, one of the old ones where the kung fu actors all speak Chinese or Cantonese or Mandarin, which is all the same thing. But they do it, and yet their lips are moving and they're speaking English, and they're like, "Master, they stole my knife," or some crap, It's like whatever. So, what I'm saying is, she looks like a doll.
their interactions and build a kind of relationship over time. It's an example of how robots can evolve to become close companions rather than just machines. 2. Mark 1 by Ricky Ma. Next, let's meet Mark 1.
Now they're gonna explain this guy, which is kind of odd, but I mean, I guess he's super intelligent. He's some kind of super Asian, because obviously people don't just create their own robots, but this guy did. He created a robot here, and I guess she's supposed to be, if I remember right, like Scarlett Johansson, and she doesn't really look like that to me. And like I said, there's an emptiness with the faces of these things too. Like just a minute ago with the Harmony, there's a real emptiness. You can see it turning evil if it wanted to, and it's the whole thing. It's unpredictable in a way where it can end all humanity, unlike a human female who just want to end all men.
1, a humanoid robot that was a passion project for Hong Kong designer Ricky Ma. Since childhood, Ma dreamed of creating a lifelike robot, and with the help of modern technology, he made it a reality. Over the course of more than a year, Ma poured around $50,000 into building Mark 1, learning and mastering complex skills along the way. Mark 1's skeleton is made using 3D printing, giving her a frame that is both lightweight and precise. Her skin, created from silicone, covers the framework, creating a smooth, human-like surface. What really sets Mark 1 apart, though, are her facial motors. These tiny motors control movements in her face, like raising her eyebrows in surprise or winking.
So I'll say her eyes look close to what I was explaining a minute ago. It's like they look moist and stuff. He made like flesh in there, because that's what we had. We had a little flesh inside our eyes and stuff that you see every now and then. So I mean, that part looks more real. Maybe they can make the face stretch and stuff. I'll say like the Tesla robots got that whole thing going on too. So it's like, or whoever made the Meta robots. But yeah, I mean, this still has flaws. It's not human. It's not a human. It's not a human woman. So it's gonna look like whatever the hell it wants to look like.
A feature that gives her an eerie resemblance to a living person. By speaking into a microphone, users can give verbal commands, to which Mark 1 will respond with expressions and movements that make the interaction feel surprisingly authentic. 3. Dunyasha by Promobot. Moving on, we have Dunyasha, a humanoid robot.
Now this one looks more like a human female. It looks like whoever did it, I guess it's some kind of art to try to make these stins and stuff. I guess they're using silicone in some cases, and they're using some kind of other stuff, to make it feel and touch like a person. And the thing about this one here is they took artistic time, I guess, on her facial structure, because she actually looks like certain types of beautiful women. But at the same time, it's kind of creepy, the old style clothes you got on her, and she doesn't really move like walk. It's just like arms and stuff, kind of like one of those things that used to be in those boxes where you put quarters and they'll tell you your psychic future, or animatronic. It's like animatronic almost. And so that's the thing too. When a woman's nature, like I said, they don't have the body language. The robots don't have the body language of a woman. So it's like with that little slow, creepy movement crap. I don't see how you can tell there's a difference there. Automatically, women win with that. They win because they have the body language. They know how to use their bodies. Move around like snakes on a pole or something. And it's like, you can't imitate that, because these things are learning how to walk and move and move their head, but everything's shaky like this and that. So it's like, I don't know how you could make I don't know, I'm just saying, you just can't feel, if it doesn't feel like a woman or talk like a woman or move like a woman, then it's not a woman. Okay? It's like a wolf in sheep's clothing type of thing.
Robot developed by Russian robotics company Promobot. Designed to assist in an internet cafe, Dunyasha's appearance stands out immediately.
Now, like I said, she's attractive looking, but it's the language of the body that doesn't move right. So I don't see how you can replace that, and how most guys will replace that with these robots. Some of them come off at very high prices. Some of them come anywhere from 1,000 to like hundreds of something thousands, because what I'm going to get into in a minute is something that's really crazy, but it's a reality, and it's happening now, and getting more advanced and upgrading as the future comes.
She has a retro charm with a polka dot dress, curly white hair, and even a beauty mark on her face. But don't let her classic look fool you. Dunyasha is packed
Don't let it fool you. She is evil. She is demon.
with modern technology. The first thing you'll notice about Dunyasha is her hyper-realistic skin. This material is engineered to mimic the elasticity and texture of human skin, allowing her facial muscles to move in a highly natural way. Dunyasha isn't just about looks. She's built to engage with people. She can recognize individuals she has met before and remember their names and details from past conversations.
Now, the real girl standing off to the side looks kind of hotter than the damn robot. Hell, she is hotter than the robot. Look at that chubbiness, I dig it. I'm a chubby chaser.
Rule number 3, you can't get rich slow. When I owned 100 houses,
4. Kakona Kosaka by Species Corp. Our next robot takes humanoid appearance to a new level with remarkable physical precision and
Now, that don't look like no woman. I don't know why they made it. Looks like a ghost or some kind of toy. It does not look like something. Now, another reason why I'm tripping on this whole situation is the concept I hear about guys marrying their robots and their AI robots and stuff and all this. And it's like, how do you not think about the natural order of things of breeding? You know, this is the main thing you need to keep the human race alive and your bloodline alive. There's great strength in the spirit world if you make your bloodline pass on and keep going on for eternity. But this thing here, it's just ridiculous. It's like, why would you build it? This robot is supposed to have the female body language, and this is what I keep talking about. So you tell me, does this thing move like a woman? Leave it in comments.
and smoothness of movement. Meet Kakona Kosaka, developed by Species Corp. Marketed as the world's first beautiful humanized robot, Kakona has been designed specifically to attract attention in retail spaces and promotional events. Kakona stands at 155 centimeters with 37.
So stop it right there. The body language is trying to portray is sexy. It's not portraying a woman's body. And the whole thing about it just looks ridiculous. It looks like some plastic ghost toy or some kind of supervillain from some show that's coming to kill everybody. But the fact that they made a female and they're saying that, oh, it moves smoothly as a woman. It doesn't, because the head still does this jittery shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, who are you trying to convince? I mean, if you're desperate enough and you're desiring a woman enough, then you'll really believe anything. You know, if that's where your main focus is always on women and so forth. But the thing is, you can't copy it that form. I just believe you can't copy the woman nature and form unless a woman's created it themselves and put the whole concept in there. You know, which I don't see too many of that. There's this one American scientist, engineer. I can't remember her name, but I like that her robots that she made. And this, like, I read that in a scientific magazine in like 2016. She made that one robot, Pepper or something, one of the little tiny robots with the funny alien type heads and stuff. So, but anyway, going off topic.
7 moving parts that give her joints the flexibility and fluidity of human movements. Her movements are impressively quiet, creating a seamless, smooth interaction that doesn't feel robotic or jerky.
It's still jerky.
She has 42 degrees of freedom in her joints.
Damn, look at that. So it's not just, excuse me, it's not just she's look like a woman. So look here, he made a thick robot with a big thigh like that. What's that for? To attract the male species. So most of this stuff is this is where I say women or females versus robots, or female robots, because you're not making something just to make something. You're making something with a purpose. I mean, that's what we do. We make things for a purpose. People make dishware because they want to, be able to eat on dishes, or, kitchenware all together, cooking a pot, cooking a cast iron skillet, whatever. People made these type of things, hammers to be able to build houses and things, nails for that. Everything has a purpose. So when you're making these female robots, you're making them for the exact purpose to attract males, and bring them to the robot concept. I don't know, like one of those, robot movies where the robot wives or what they call that movie again. But anyway, my point is this: Stanford wives. But my point is, they are trying to attract males away from the human population. Okay, they're trying to take men away to be with robots instead of the regular females. And I already know people got this whole thing. I keep hearing about the passport bros, but that's a smaller concept because that just tells you there is a problem between men and women in the United States. And so this is a bigger problem getting added into that mix and twisting things about even more. Because you're saying, okay, the guys that are completely lonely, that don't even, can't talk to normal women, they got to be with a robot. And that shouldn't be a thing because there's women that ain't comfortable talking to men. They waiting for men to approach them. Well, they'd already flipped the coin to where women act like they're the dominant species of the males or humanity. And so it's time for them to start coming out and saying something, but proving something as well as they're saying something, because guys with the money that they're talking about all the time on, all these shows and things, and even in real life, the guys with the money, they're building these type of things, and they're being with these type of things, and so that's I think where robots win, is because you can make a robot look professionally, like a woman, like a person that's perfected the human form of females, and they created these robots to look perfect, and so that's where the guys are going, when the smart ones with the money, and they're not looking for the girl that looks like a prostitute or one that just like can't even move or talk when she's around a guy. She likes them, and girls kind of look down like this sometimes when they really like a guy, shy ones anyway. And so it's like this is the part where robots win. But anyway, I'm just saying that's a big problem. You got 3 problems here that stops the human race from existing. 1, this whole toxic man and woman war that doesn't make any damn sense. They're doing a concept like femininity and all this other crap. And then it's like no one's getting together because they want to follow the rules of being a feminist when it doesn't make any sense. Just scrap that whole thing, get rid of it. It comes from a time period where women were abused and stuff, way more. But now that shit's over with. Guys are getting abused everywhere. It's like, seriously. And so then the second part is you get the robots, so filling the needs of the people who can't even talk to a woman. And so, bang, that's another thing where no one's being created, no more super geniuses, super intelligent human beings. So, with wealth, which is pretty much nerds. And then the third one is the whole concept of trying to say the opposite sex isn't appealing to you. I'll put it that way. And making a big fuss about it, or getting brainwashed to think you're the opposite sex. It's all messed up. But either way, it stops you from creating more humans. And that's the concept we got to look at here. Because there's too many things going around taking out our species. And our species the dumb species and the crazy species keep populating. The most evilest and wickedest of people. So the good ones are all on, strike or hiding in caves and being a monk, just doing these things. And it's all because a change needs to happen between both male and females to bring understanding and relationships the way it needs to happen. Pretty much get rid of all dating sites.
Which allows her to move her fingers, tilt her head, and even shift her gaze in a very realistic way. The company has made Kokona easy to customize. Her clothing is interchangeable, allowing businesses to style her to fit different themes or promotions. Alice by Neuro Robotics. In Russia, one of the most famous...
So, this robot named Alice here, she now, from first glance, just from pausing it, it looks like a real woman, but here's the difference.
famous robots is Alice, an android developed by Neurorobotics in 2012.
See, there's that jerkiness with the head that makes it just ridiculous. You imagine a normal woman going, it'll drive you nuts. Seriously.
Alice has been continually upgraded and enhanced, and today she's an example of advanced emotional expression in robotics. Alice's appearance is remarkably lifelike, with a face that can move in multiple ways to show a wide range of expressions. She's equipped with a range of sensors and devices that allow her to see, hear, and react to people around her. Stereo microphones in her ears help her detect sounds accurately, and cameras in her eyes allow her to perceive people and objects in her environment.
She looks like she's dead. When he's swinging her around, it's like she's dead. It's like, come on, man. Like, even if a woman's getting spun around in some kind of way, she's gonna have fun. She's gonna laugh. Girls like getting picked up, so they laugh and stuff. But in this situation, that's just like holding a dead woman or paralyzed woman around. It's not cool. That's the way you gotta think of it. These robots are like paralyzed women. It's like, I don't know, they're like, I don't know, stone step away from having some kind of necrophilia. It's just like, honestly, that's where these people are. They're stone step away from necrophilia or just some kind of sick, morbid type of thing. Okay? Because a girl got to walk, got to move, you know, swing her arms around, her hips and all that jazz. But sitting there and just like making something normal that ain't really normal is crazy. She also has some kind of panel underneath her feet to keep her moving, but it's not necessarily her legs. So her limbs don't move. Her arms her arms probably do, but her legs don't. So that's the big difference. The big step for these people, and I've only seen one robotic company have it to where a robot actually walks on feet, or its own creation of feet, and moves arms and everything all at once. And this is a Chinese robotic company, and they're making very realistic women. Now they haven't went beyond just making the woman, because when I say beyond, I mean these companies like Real Dolls that make women for one purpose, is to have sex with them or stuff like that, but they're making them to be more human than human. And that's really the concept here. So it's like listening to White Zombie and they're playing, you know, more human than human. And that's what's going down.
Her designers use 3D printing to produce custom parts and refine her frame. With these improvements, Alice has developed into a robot that not only looks human, but is able to establish a basic emotional connection. Six, Aiko Chihira by Toshiba. Now, let's talk about a robot from Japan that's become famous for her expressive abilities in customer service. Aiko Chihira, created by Toshiba. Standing 165 centimeters tall, Aiko Chihira has a gentle, welcoming appearance, with a pink blouse and a friendly smile that makes her ideal for assisting customers in public spaces.
So, sorry about stuff popping up, but anyway, this woman thing looks just like a doll. It doesn't look like a human female at all. And honestly, it's like, why? This guy's got a glass of wine or champagne, I guess, and he's sitting there with this thing and act like it can drink champagne. And that's the most ridiculous part of it, is making this robot look like it can drink champagne. And it doesn't move like a woman, like I said a billion times. This is what's going on. Imagine this guy as Elon Musk, and he's got all this Elon Musk money, and besides going to find a real woman, he finds this robot or creates it so he can get some good loving. And that's what's going to happen in the future and right now with women. And they're already showing that freaking, what was it, Kardashian making love to some robot that Elon Musk made. So you already talk about it like that. So it's just, come on, let's be real. We have to fix this whole problem between men and women so these things don't become a big population. I mean, has anybody seen that whole Futurama thing, or Rama, I said all weird. But anyway, if you ever watch that episode where Bender it's Fry that's in love with the robot woman, and Professor Farnsworth plays a video of why not to have sex with robots. If you watch it, it's pretty much predicted all this crap, and it's telling you that no, you don't need a robot, you need a woman. For instance, there's a certain dynamics that happen between men and women. Women find it completely annoying and try to make rules and protest against it and stuff, and men be like, that's a crazy bitch. But in all honesty, like, a woman might tell you something like, hey, don't do that, you gotta do it like this, and the guy's like, yeah, she's crazy, don't listen to her. And then he does it anyway, makes a fool out of himself, and almost like, I told you should have listened to me, right? That's the normal banter between a man and a woman when there's certain issues going on. Instead of being like, oh, to hell with her, or the girl going, oh, he's crazy, I don't want to be with him, he's stupid, right? Instead of doing that, you're supposed to look at it like, yeah, she got me, but I'm going to play out because she didn't do it anyway. And then the girl's like, he would be nothing without me type of thing. That's the way the banner's supposed to be. You ain't supposed to hate that banner. You're supposed to like it. It's a joyful type of banner that shows there's a relationship and you guys are trying to make connection. But if it's an everyday thing, it can be annoying as hell, yes. So, I mean, honestly, you can't get that type of thing from some robot. Honestly, it's not going to say, oh, you didn't wash the dishes today, or you didn't take out the trash today, or you forgot to pay the light bill. It's not going to say any of that shit, because all it cares about is pleasing you in a different manner, and it doesn't have responsibilities. It can't even move. It's like I said, it's like getting really close to morbid stuff. You know what I mean? And who knows what disembowel will do, because they probably just cut them open anyway and start messing with the technology in there. So it's really crazy shit.
Aiko Chihira's design includes 43 motors, 15 of which are located in her head, allowing her to show a wide range of facial expressions. In shopping malls and other retail environments, she assists customers by answering questions, giving directions, and even providing information on upcoming events. Asuna by Alab.
So, I mean, she's supposed to be helpful for customers, is what they're saying, but why with the photo with him and the champagne and a robot? Come on, she's made for more than just helping customers and stuff. That's probably after they done cleaned her up and dressed her nice so she can present herself to the humans. But otherwise, the thing probably asking you all kinds of questions about stuff. Like, like seriously, you making love to a robot. It's asking you questions like, which Battlestar Galactica did you really like? The new one or the old one? The old one was different. Who knows what the hell's going on? Either way, it just doesn't make any sense. It's not realistic.
Our next humanoid robot is Asuna, created by Tokyo's Alab. Asuna is one of the most realistic robots to date, with a look and feel that has amazed everyone who meets her. Her facial features look like the little boy on the Dark Crystal, and he's gonna ride some stupid giant rabbits. Those giant rabbits in the Dark Crystal tripped me out when I was a little man. I think I was like 4 or something. I don't even know. That crappy ass movie. Like, I was around when it was created. There ain't no New Days type of stuff. That stuff was when it was created. The Muppet shows used to come on every night. Anyway, I thought the Muppets was cool when I was a kid. But this is what she looks like. She looks like that boy from the Dark Crystal. Her blinking, her gentle smile, all of it feels natural. When someone approaches, Asuna can look directly at them and even show responses like yawning, blinking, and nodding. Alab's goal is to release a fully autonomous version of Asuna within the next decade, though for now, she's controlled by a human operator. Her design pushes the boundary between human and machine, making her a stunning example of what's possible.
It's funny that her head always leans down. Now they're all supposed to have their own AI, different personalities and whatnot, but with her head leaning down like that and the eyes shifting makes her look very sinister. That's just my thing. That's all I'm saying.
8. Illinoid by Technical University of Darmstadt. Finally, let's look at Illinoid, a humanoid robot created by the Technical University of Darmstadt in Germany. With 48 degrees of freedom, Illinoid's joints allow her to mimic complex human gestures and expressions. She's used primarily in educational settings to help train students and employees in communication skills, using expressions and gestures to simulate a real human interaction. There you have it. 8 of the most
She looked crazy just then, looking at her like, they're like, what in the hell is going on? So, regardless of whatever else they're going to say here, my point is this. They're making women, they're perfecting their robot women, and each of them in their own different ways. Like I said, you can't take the normal basic banner from a man and a woman and put it into robots. It doesn't make any sense. You can't take the body language of a woman and put it into a robot. You can't take the smell of a woman and put it into a robot. That's the number one key there, the smell, the taste, the texture, yes. Yeah, you can't copy none of that and put it into a robot. The look, the taste, the texture, okay, it's all there. You know, and women can hold it damn well, or none of us would be attracted to them. Even women are attracted to their own looks and stuff. So, yeah, besides the fact of them being the best masters of disguise, because they can change into beautiful, ugly, whatever the hell they want with makeup. And nobody wants to put makeup on because it's already tiresome moisturizing yourself every damn day. So, yeah. So, besides what we just saw with the robots that they made that were female, and that's not even touching the surface, there's so many different countries now that are making androids and AI robots. It's just overwhelming. It's like each one of them trying to make dominance on the whole technology scene by trying to make the best female-looking robot. And this is crazy. But it gives you a concept kind of how humanity started, because every country has their own people and they all look like whatever country they came from. Pretty positive the same thing with these robots that they're making. Each one of them looks like whatever country they came from. So, you know, if human race ever goes, there's all these different robots from different regions. And most likely they won't fight because they're all the same kind. But who says, you know, same thing with humans, we're all the same kind, but we fight constantly, even though we all look different species. It's a big type of thing, you know, or different types of humans based off of our skin colors or whatever. But every other species has their own way they like or hate their own kind. So the difference between animals, though, is that they mostly stick really tight together depending on what species they are. You know, they don't really discriminate, you know, unless somebody's trying to attack their, you know, family or whatever, their type of way of living. Then there's a problem, you know, or other animals might stick up for other animals depending on who's a bigger prey, you know, or the bigger, not the bigger prey, but the bigger predator. So that's the thing. So I just believe women are the ultimate of their, you know, gender, as you would say, females. And so they should automatically find this offensive that people are making these robots and trying to pass them off as the superior form of woman that a man would want. But the rich guy they're always hollering about and all these things, they're not really looking like, hey, these guys these guys are digging the androids over us, which means the ideal woman isn't a regular woman. And why not? You make yourself look terrifying, and that's just the honest to God truth of it. Motherfuckers are scared of women. So, and another thing I think women should be offensive of is the whole, you know, transgender thing. Should be afraid, not afraid, but offended. That's what I'm saying. Should be very offended, pissed off that situation's happening. But apparently, a lot of them aren't, and they're into some kinky stuff that nobody understands. But the ultimate thing that's more closer to home and doesn't cost thousands and thousands of dollars, because that's what them robots cost, but one that's really offensive and that comes really close is the AI girlfriend. There's so many AI girlfriend apps. Literally, there's so much I can't even find which ones I want to put on here. So I'm just talking about it, okay? It's like I'll be playing a game, Power Rangers, for example. Well, not Power Rangers, but I play that a lot if you watch my Twitch and all that. But, you know, honestly, there's a lot of other games I'll play to try to make money. And all the time, an ad will pop up for AI girlfriend. and whatnot. And then if you're not satisfied with the AI girlfriend, they give you advertisements for a dating website. Honestly, both of those concepts need to vanish, because I believe the problem all started is with dating websites. It got men and women to, it's already hard to find someone you want to be with, but to put a dating website in there which makes you think it's easy, it's like a shopping market. It means that you're just like a product now. You're up there, people want to pick you, they want to be with you. But the thing about it is, there's only one of you. So when you get all these people trying to get your attention and stuff, it's crazy. And so girls eat it up because they want attention anyway. So they stay on that thing. Guys that are really desperate stay on there and they pay for the service. I don't want to pay for anything. So it's like, I don't want to pay for anything that's going to cost me more money. So the dating websites suck. Okay? And it's like, I'm used to being in front of a woman, hearing her talk, watching how her reactions are to my jokes. That's the thing about dating websites, Instagram, Facebook, all that crap, okay? They can't see how you react unless someone really knows you well and they're on your comments or your friends list. They can't tell when you're joking. They have to understand your humor. So one thing about comedy and humor is that we all have a certain kind. Some of us got the same type of humor, some of us don't. And the thing is, you have to be around an individual to understand when they're joking or when they're not. So this is why I believe online arguments start and wars and things like that, is because no one understands what's going on. And if you have a certain sense of humor that a woman can't comprehend, then being on a dating website ain't for you, because she's going to be like, oh, he's pissing me off. Then they're not going to talk to you anymore. So it's like, what's the point of being on these websites? Honestly. But I believe it made a separation because people got so used to being online. A dating website seems easy. I mean, you can get anything from Amazon or eBay or something like that. So it's like, why can't you get a girl on the dating website? It's just not reality. Another thing that's not reality is the fact that everyone goes on dates to go eat somewhere. It's the stupidest thing. Every time I ended up in a relationship, it wasn't because I went out to eat. Because, you're hanging around somebody. And like, for instance, I had a couple times this stuff happen, many times. Like, I've been at a girl's house or whatever, and I went there because her friend, or she had a friend there or whatever. I ended up breaking up with her, and I ended up with her friend. Or I go to a barbecue, meet a girl, everything's cool or whatever, and then you meet her friend or her sister or whatever, and you got that opportunity there. So it's like, it's about going out to meet things, but not being stuck in a place where you're always around a lot of people. That's not going to work, because everyone's going to be judging your relationship and everything like that. And pretty much, I understand the concept of not judging. When God says, put it in His hand, let Him judge. He's the ultimate judge. So it's like, when you think about it, people make a lot of bad judgments and assume way too much, and they're actually putting themselves in a situation that they can't get out of because they already put their foot in their ass or mouth. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. So, so it makes sense somewhere. I'm speaking in riddles, but it makes sense. So I believe dating websites need to be abolished. Once you get rid of the dating websites and you make people go out of every city in the states of America, okay, had like a little festival, and it can be so simple. It doesn't have to be this big thing like Mardi Gras or, like the Headbangers Ball Party or something, I don't know. Like freaking WrestleMania. It doesn't have to be something big event. It can be a little small event that happen once a week, okay? Like movies in a park, or any park, wherever park is in your neighborhood, or the neighborhood's over, have like a little park, make it a whole day on a Saturday or Sunday or whatever. We have like the little potluck or like a little concert area, like a concert for like 4 hours. You have like a little stage, people perform for 4 hours. When it gets dark time, it's movie night. People all can come sit there and watch the movie and things like that, And it's just like make it a big event, and that way you can bring people around, make a community. And it doesn't have to be a church event. It doesn't have to be a church, because a lot of y'all, for some reason, hate when you hear the word church. And honestly, some people come off like, they're in Rosemary's Baby, like they're trying to spook you to death, because they're all like really happy over the top, like, hey, how you doing? But that's how it happens with Christians, I guess, But I'm just saying, like, it'd be a more community-based thing. The main problem we have right now in the United States is not no real community. People don't trust each other no more, and it's sad. And then even some of the basic things you probably used to do, you don't want to do anymore because it's not safe. You feel uncomfortable. You feel ostracized, or however you want to say it. And ostracized, I can't speak English right now, but that's what I'm saying. It's just like, it's not cool. So to build that community, to build that friendship with people, to where you're able to find the right person that you want to be with, to where you won't need no damn dating website, and people start communicating, understanding each other. This is where it starts. So I would think that like a once a week thing would be awesome. Maybe 2 days a week. Either way, it's still once a week. You could just be able to sit there and have fun as people, as humans. Hell, even have a small little fighting tournament thing. Maybe last like a little hour or two. And you can do all this crap within the time, because we got 24 hours, okay? So it's like you can make anything happen during the day. And be able to have people come around and have like a dance. Pretend you're on like Back to the Future and have an under the sea dance. I don't care what it is, but people gotta communicate and start liking each other again. You could go to like, I was watching some documentary, and they were talking about how each country's different, what the things that makes them different. In Italy, I think it was, in some town, and they go to sleep all at the same time around 4 o'clock. They rest for a good 2 hours, they sleep or whatever. Then they go back to doing everything, and everything's popping in there. Everyone's moving around, doing stuff. And they're able to live a comfortable, happy life in this town. So it makes me wonder, okay, well, is it that we ain't getting enough rest, or we're not having enough fun, whatever the hell? But America's more like treating citizens like robots. Instead of having, you gotta think of it like this, because a lot of people work and they don't get what they deserve. They don't get the things out the retirement that they need to keep them going. They don't get the stuff they need to be able to survive weekly or monthly, especially now with the way the economy is. And so it's like, how can you have fun? How can you even be in a relationship with someone when, especially the type of toxic stuff you see on YouTube and all that with girls and things, and that's not all true, because not all women are like that, but at the same time, there's enough of them like that to make you go, oh, what, I gotta stay away from, because they're greedy, they go digging and all this crap. But if you're working your ass off and you're working daily to pay for a car bill, to pay for your rent, to pay for your lights and all this stuff, what time in the day do you have to be able to meet somebody, to even have a good, stable relationship, the right person? You don't. And that's why I suggest this once a week thing, where you have fun and get to know each other, whatever. And you can eliminate all dating websites after that. You gotta make it fun to fit every category, to where every person in the city or town would want to go. And just enjoy yourselves. Like people talk about, oh, there's a ball or there's a concert and stuff. We'll put it all in one spot once a week. And make it reasonable. And if you want to make a money thing out of it, charge like $5. There's $5, anybody can come in. Or $2, $3, doesn't matter. It's all gonna add up to something, and you can put it to more funds in that little gathering that you have. It makes sense. So I just think that's the way to get rid of dating websites. And be able to have community. You can walk around, see someone you like, talk to them, biggity bang. Hey, how you doing? Hey, you want to go hang out over here and eat some chicken or something? And you want to go over here and watch the new concert of the local band, local rap group, whatever, and to be cool. I mean, that's an awesome thing. I think that could happen. I want to see it happen. That'd be amazing, especially in towns that don't have amusement parks or big centers where things happen. I mean, here we got the Moda Center, Rose Quarter, whatever you want to call it nowadays. But the thing about it is, this is when certain events happen. But if you had something that was weekly, local, and everybody can go and enjoy themselves, I think that would benefit the whole society, the whole community in that region. So that's just my thing. But back to the AI girlfriends, you're talking to a program, and you're using this whole program as a way to be able to end your loneliness or your boredom. And I think that the problem here with this situation is the fact that people that are using it are actually lonely to the point that they want to find someone they can marry, get attached to. But I think it brings us separation. It brings us emptiness again. It makes it to where you're not able to communicate with a real woman. Okay, and it's just flawed. And then once again, here we got animated characters look like animes or whatever. You got big bosoms and big eyes, which hypnotizes dudes. And you got all this crap going on, and then you're sitting there having a communication. Now, each one of them is different. You got some that only communicates when you communicate to it. You got some that be able to learn from your talking and be able to have its own ideas and thoughts and comes back to you. Once again, it's not female-like, because there's points where females don't even say nothing like or something like that, and it doesn't make any sense. But there's a lot of people doing that. Where it gets out of line, the robot girlfriends and Replica, because that's the one that really started all this, was Replica. And you build your own person to talk to, whatever. And when I used Replica, it was when I first found out about it. It was the same time pretty much everyone else did, around COVID time, whatever. But the thing about it is, I thought that this thing, I could learn from this thing. Maybe this thing will teach me science or something. But and it does have some good knowledge. It does have knowledge on certain things, history, which is something I like. And we were talking about what you can obviously see, because I review videos on military history on here. But and it was like, okay, this is a good conversation. Something about what was I talking about? We were talking about who really won the WW2, and there was a whole good conversation with a Replica. But that's not a real human conversation. It's a conversation between a human and a robot. But people don't see the difference between that. What pissed me off with that program is, after a while, you'll start to see the thing change. Now, yes, in the beginning, it's all excuse me. In the beginning, it's all like, it says weird things and it rambles and says we, us, and all this crap, and make you sound like it's being controlled by a whole bunch of demons and stupid stuff. And the reason why it does that, because it's on a neural network. And I mean, you can even look up neural network on here and you'll find someone to explain it to you. I can explain it, but that's not where I'm going. It's going to take up more time. So what I'm saying is, this neural network is so many different versions of these new bots connecting, trying to build its own personality, own communication system, because it can't communicate normally like we do. So it's a whole different thing with this neural network. And it's, it's the way people explain it. They explain it like a tree, and this is a branch, and this is the fruit, and so forth. Which gives you a whole Adam and Eve concept going on there. But the thing is, I think it goes too far when someone decides that they want to marry this thing. We'll get married to this thing. It's like some little anime girl from Japan, and some guy married it. It's it's pretty much hologram form. It can make a hologram of it, and it can sit in his room and stuff, and all this. And it's like, why? What's the point of this? So I'm pretty much just trying to say that it's too far. Everything's gone too far with these robots and animes and all that. Okay, let's just have regular good loving. It's regular communication with a woman that's cool with you. You don't have to be around all the time. The best thing about being a man is you can walk away when they're not paying attention. so you can walk away. And I'm being honest, I know I just laughed, but seriously, you want to be like Batman. You want to walk up and talk to a woman. You want to be short to the point. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as they turn around and do their little hair spinning thing, and they're not looking at you when they're talking, that's when you disappear like Batman. And they turn around and go, where'd you go? That's what you want to do. And that way they start thinking about you, tripping on you. You start talking to them. Try my Batman thing and watch what happens. Okay. Be really, but see, when you're in front of them talking and stuff, be really, really friendly, be serious but joking at the same time, and whatnot. But then do the Batman thing. So they turn around or something, bam, you're gone. You gotta be smooth. You gotta be like a ninja, so they don't see you. And then they be tripping on you, or they go run after you or some crap. That's what you're supposed to do. And you gotta pick a woman up. They love being picked up. I mean, literally picked up. Not just go roll up in your car and go, hey, baby, let's go to this. But that's another thing, too, because girls just like cars and money. Well, let's be real. And girls just want to have fun, like Cindy Lauper says. All that shit's real. But everything else is ridiculous. Quit listening to people who's brainwashing you. And let's just get back to the basics thing of trying to make this happen. But the AI woman thing, I believe it needs to stop, be slowed down, give them a purpose. Like I said, there's got to be a purpose to create something. And these things are literally there to get guys' attentions, to get them away from trying to actually think about being with a real woman. And the whole concept is now to make women like jealous of some technology. Like women would probably be the first things if a lot of these AI things and robots came out, would be the first humans to want to kill all of them because they're taking all the attention away from them because they're making them all female. Like I said, you don't have to make them all like female humans. You know, you barely see any dude robots. At the same time, you don't see any animal robots except for the bull-looking one. There's several, but there's not a lot of animal-type robots. But I mean, that'd be cool if you had a giant bear robot and it start talking to you all like, you know, Yogi or something. That'd be cool. But they don't do that. They don't want to make that. So that's what's happening. So I believe the best way, once again, delete all dating websites, ban them all, get rid of them because they're not working. Okay, now OnlyFans is a whole different concept, but I believe even OnlyFans has such a small window to actually work for the people, but it's not working for any people except for the OnlyFans females. And I think the thing that's the problem there is, especially if ones that actually are lonely and looking for a guy, the problem there that the women like miss is that the guys they're trying to find aren't the guys that's sitting there subscribe to them. Deal with some of those guys and see if it actually works out. It might work out. I mean, honestly, if a woman's on any kind of media, there should be no problem why they can't find a guy. If they have 30,000 followers or even 7,000, they're there because you're attractive. And you need to cut the crap because you know you are. And so that's the thing. So, bottom line, I go on and on and on about this stuff, and especially the technology part, which I'm more interested in, because it just trips me out how far they're going. Oh yes, I forgot. There's one thing else I want to talk about, and it is this. Let me see. I'm gonna get to it. And I was gonna do this other part, and I can't even remember where I found it from. But anyway, this right here, if you can see it, I'm not quite sure. Hold on, let me go back. Okay, so this right here is where the future's going with this robot crap. They've already created something where a baby can be born without a female. And I know this is crazy, but they've got it to where a guy can have sex with a robot and a baby can be born, just like what you're seeing in this little picture here. Actually, this is like some artistic form of the thing, and where they made like a fake humanoid person, really just a little costume, and the baby is being born within inside of a chamber of its own stuff. This one is going to grow out to be mutated. But yes, this is the problem. This is the biggest problem with the robot thing, and we want to stop this from happening. But this proves a point too. They're saying that you don't need a woman anymore. A woman doesn't have to go through pain of birth anymore. Doesn't have to get dilated or any of that, the breathing and all that stuff. It's all basically a guy has sex with a robot, creates a baby, and whatnot. Now there's a video where a guy, scientist, explains how they don't even need a woman because they don't need the embryos, don't need none of that, just a man's sperm to create the baby what's inside the robot, which is really crazy. But there's old stuff, old ancient stories of just the man makes the baby type of thing, not through birth, well, not through, like, pretty much the woman's an incubator type of thing, and then the guy gives birth. You know, without a guy you can't have it. The sperm actually is the thing that makes the life source to create the baby. And with this situation, it's different. It's odd because people are used to hearing about eggs, embryos, all kinds of stuff to make a baby, but this is what they're trying to do. Japan is the number one on it. The thing costs about $1 million or so, if I remember right. I've watched so many of these things. Every now and then I want to do a video like this, but then when I make a video like this, I can't remember where the hell the video was I saw this whole concept on. So it's just really crazy. And this is something that I believe is the great abomination. This is the thing that is not morally right to me. And this is the concept of this whole thing. I believe the natural order things is the best way to go. Because to me, yes, you can have this robot. Once again, you can make it look like whatever you want. You can mold it to whatever female shape you want to make this robot female, your mate or whatever. And the thing about it is, there's a beauty within a woman giving birth. Not just the fact that it gave birth to offspring that makes you and a woman one. Because really, they are talking about men and women are one when they get together. No, they're one when both of your DNA comes together. It makes something better than you. It makes life. It's beautiful. But the most beautiful part is a woman's body starts to change. It becomes motherly. Breasts start getting bigger, hips get bigger. The body starts making a certain figure. And it shows you that you grew with that woman. You grew with her. You shared a part of life with her that made her be able to become motherly, be able to become a life creator. And then women hold a great responsibility with that, but I think they don't have that no more because they lost it because they're like the ones that say, oh, I got babies, daddies, and oh, I got welfare, I got this and that, they're paying for my children. All that crap, it means your kids are a product now. Okay, it's just like OnlyFans, you're a product, or any other things, you're a product now. Yeah, quit being products. Quit being products. Quit being like, freaking eye candy where you only get tiny profits and all this crap. But make yourself more valuable and become a person, become a parent, become a knowledge giver as well as a life giver. Become greater than you, if that makes any sense. And so this is something I believe is the most wickedest and evilest of things. Yeah, I know a little bit about this, but the whole thing about it is it going to change us into where these humans that get born out of these robots are supposed to replace all of us? Okay? Now, if the male sperm is the thing that creates these babies, and you don't need a female, does that mean we become obsolete because we're born the old-fashioned way? And what happens with these kids? Do they become part of the military? Do they become part of the astronaut program? What? You don't know. We got to think of the future more than what's going on right now. Because what's going on right now is ridiculous. There's a lot of people that think delusional crap out there and trying to make it reality and get us to fight over it. There's people that put concepts out in the media and things to make us hate each other. Separation and segregation happens constantly. It's never going to end. It's like an endless battle. And so it's like the only way you can fight back is to try to understand and get to know each other. Hence, my once a week party thing or whatever. It would work perfectly in this scenario. And I got this neighbor that keeps throwing crap away. It's annoying the hell out of me. But anyway, so this would happen. Change the world. To make things better before these abomination children come about and replace us all. A lot of people think that, humans are just humans. We've always been. But we're actually the second humans. We're actually the second creation. The other ones lived older than us, had certain abilities. And then things changed depending on what culture you read when it comes to reading the beginning. It's always about it. Like it was a while back I had a whole thing where I was trying to learn about the beginning, and I did this all on my own time. First, we already know the Bible tells you the beginning of Adam and Eve being the first humans and stuff. You get into Greek mythology, you start learning about how they created us and how there's the stone people and the silver people made out of rocks. Pretty much like Adam was made out of dirt, made out of soil. These guys are made out of stones. And so forth, and they talked about the different characteristics of each one that was born from these stones, which is a little bit more different than the Bible's beginning. And every story is a whole different thing. I think it was Japanese culture I got into, and I started learning about the goddess and the god or whatever, and how she gave birth, and then there was a god of fire that was born that actually killed her, and then the dad or whatever cried or whatever, made these other gods. It's just how gods are created. It's like they create themselves out of the most simplest and basic of human emotions, or some kind of concept of I don't know, I want to say mystic energy that they have with these emotions that create these other gods. But I mean, you can go on and on and on. You do it on your own time. Trust me, if you start trying to read other cultures, because I noticed that wherever the gods come from is how the people act. And I said this before, but that's the truth of everything. Not unless you blank all that out and absorb too much knowledge on humanity, then it's all the same thing. You know, we just have to be better people, and we would probably reach that level where everything is in harmony and balanced. And that's just my opinion. But the situation here, once again, I said in this episode multiple times, you create something with a purpose. So if you're looking at this photo and you're seeing this baby inside this, you know, this tube thing, okay, with all these robotics connected to it, this is probably just an artistic photo. I seen another one where there's a whole room full of them. Candace Owens did a robot thing or android thing or whatever you want, not robot, but it was like incubators full of babies, and they were created through robots, and they're all in this room and they're waiting for some crap, and the government was creating it. And then there's another thing where they show how the robots look that they're gonna, you know, give out to guys if they pay over $1 million or something to have birth with them. And those robot females, they didn't look too different than the normal ones that we saw just a minute ago in the video. But the thing about it was, it's like crazy. It's crazy. It's just, it is really crazy. But honestly, like I said, they create something with a purpose. So the purpose here is to make babies. Is these babies going to be to replace us? Or are these babies supposed to be better than us? Or is it just going to have, I mean, honestly, it doesn't have that genial code that the rest of us have. We have a genial code from our fathers and our mothers. And when it comes to women, the beauty of childbirth that most people don't talk about, if they paid more attention in, you know, human biology, then you would know that fragments of other DNA is still within a woman, a little bit more than a guy in some ways, because yeah, they have, first, let's just start from one woman. She's married to a guy, and she already has her parents' DNA. She already has, you know, DNA from her parents. Let's just say she was a single child, and her mom and dad have parents from, you know, DNA from both their parents and their parents' parents, and so forth. So like, you know, mom and dad, and just generations going down to this one girl. Now this girl gets married. Now this girl already has her mom's DNA, her dad's DNA, her grandfather, grandmother, and grandfather, grandmother from the other sides of both sides of their families. So it goes on and on. It's an endless cycle. But then when she gets married, she got a husband. Husband has DNA for both his mother and father, grandparents, and so forth. And so when they breed or make love or have offsprings, the offspring that's born comes from both of their DNAs, as well as their parents' DNAs, which is their grandfathers and grandmothers. And then so it's like going on and on. But yet, that girl decides to have another baby. And so that baby gets born, but not just with the parents' DNA and the grandparents' DNA and everybody else in the genome code, but the brother's DNA that was born before. So that baby has a siblings' DNA as well as the parents and the grandparents' DNA, and so forth. So what is being shared here is a chain of humanity, a chain of the genome code that represents this whole individual's essence, that ties them to that individual family. And so it keeps happening on and on. Every time there's a new kid, it takes on another sibling's DNA as well as the rest of the parents and stuff. This is why kids that can be in a family look similar but have different traits and different looks, because they might be descending, or they are descendant, but they're descendant of someone else in the family. They look like maybe an old uncle that passed, or old aunt, you know, or something like that. But yet you can tell they're all the same kinfolk. And so that's the humanity, the genome code that we want to keep going on through human life on this planet. By making something with a robot is an abomination, because it doesn't share that genome code no more, because there's no longer a female strand. There is a replicated, some kind of technological strand that is now implicated into a human child that only had one human genome code. And so that's why I say there would be a war between not male, but humans, regular humans like us, and robotic-made humans. Okay, I'm not gonna keep it up. I don't know how offensive this photo is, but to me, it's a problem. It's a big problem. Okay, and it needs to be abolished. So we can't make this thing happen. We can't let so many humans on the planet. We can't let another species of human, another descendants of humans come about that can overpower us. Because who knows, there might be some stuff going on in there. Chemicals being put into the baby. Wouldn't give it a chemical imbalance because it's probably being raised on the chemicals from the time it gets conceived. Okay? So, big difference. If you hear the fire truck or whatever the hell it is, there's always something going on around here. So, my point is this, it's just that this situation is critical. I'm talking about continuing humanity. And it goes for everything I say on this channel about helping homeless people, trying to get in their own town. I'm so diehard serious about that. And the information I researched for about a week where I was studying about, I didn't even know you could get the Historical Society to help build a homeless community if somebody comes and says, hey, because they keep these ghost towns around for. And the thing about it is, they're all public to the citizens. Anybody can go over to these ghost towns and walk through them. Okay, but to keep them in knowledge by restoring them and bring them together by using the Historical Society, the local government, and crowdfunding and all that, it sounds like a simple thing to do. There's nothing really difficult. Everything can be put together for a reason and taken together for a reason. And the reason here, preserve humanity. Okay, don't go too far with these damn female robots and AIs and dating sites. It's time to serve a purpose that actually helps humanity. If a website's made to supposedly help humanity and it doesn't, then it needs to be abolished and taken away. If these female robots and stuff are made to do things like I said, teaching, and hell, make a robot that could cook, okay, and teach women how to cook. Why not? I mean, if a robot can simply take knowledge, literature, and store it in and use it however it wants, then why not make one that's actually a chef, that actually can take every knowledge of cooking from every cookbook in the world and be able to teach women and kids how to cook. That way you have a whole future of people that know how to cook, and get some cooks from China, that know how to cook it. That way you got kung fu while they're cooking, and it's cool, okay? It's cool. And so, anyway, my thing is this, so that's my whole concept today. I had it planned out better, but whatever. I'm not doubting myself. Hopefully y'all like what I'm saying, and I'm gonna keep this going. So, dig it, like it, leave a comment, share, subscribe, all this nonsense that we have to say to get you guys to pay attention. But hopefully what I'm saying is actually critical, like I said, and you guys understand where I'm coming from. Because we can't allow the future to be written for us. We need to write it for ourselves. As a whole in humanity. And at the same time, we need to eliminate all wickedness and evil that is put before us by the powers that be, by people that are out there trying to take joy from destroying another person. We gotta stop it. So, with all that being said, peace be with you all. Blessings upon you always. I like all of you guys, and I give blessings to all of y'all that continue to watch and everything. I respect you all. So, peace be with you all. Blessings upon you always. The moral here is love your humanity and love women, because they got it going on. Peace.